So I'm filming this with the smell of wood smoke just behind me. And it makes me think of the cyclic nature of life here at the lake and of reselling. We've rolled into fall. I broke out my fleece. Everything's changing. And it will as we roll into the rainy season. It's obviously fall. Fall's arrived. I'm wearing my fleece. My barber caught hold of me and gave me a trim. But as I look around this week, thinking back about our week, I've been thinking about the cyclic nature of reselling, of life here at the lake, and our retirement. Rose and I made a couple of trips this week to pick up some auction lots at different auctions, including the commercial auction. Even though I didn't get many lots down there, I like to look around. They've been transitioning into much, much larger physical objects, so I got to see their layout for Connex boxes and outside restrooms and more mini excavators and big metal gates, but I'm not really playing in that market. But since I've known those guys for years, when I'm down that way, I like to stop in, pick up some small items, which I'll show you. So I'm down at the packing bench to show you half a dozen lots I picked up at the commercial auction while we were out and about. The first two here, they're two of the same thing, which of course means multi-quantity listing. These are Laguna brand bandsaw blades. Very nice brand. There's the size. Here you can see the back information. But these will do nicely. Some ProFit connector packs. They're support kits. So we'll pull one of these open. We'll check their value and decide whether to put them up in pairs by the box or individually once we see what they're actually worth on the secondary market. This next one is a double order of their door knockers, but cleverly, if you look at the hardware pack, the viewer to see who's at your door fits into this upper hole. So I opened one of them up to take a look at it, and I'll leave it open in order to take the pictures. But I think I ended up with 2 sets of 10 or 20 of these. Underneath here is an item I picked up for packaging. These are actually commercial sandwich bags. They're paper. But I picked them up because I think they will work very well to fold over when I'm packing out sports cards, because you can't thicken that eBay standard envelope too much or it doesn't qualify to go as eBay standard and you have to step up to ground advantage. But I didn't pick up much, but in addition to these few lots, I also got a chance to look around. I like to see what the commercial auction is about to offer. So when I'm picking up one group, I take a look at some of the things they're going to be offering in the next. In addition to some video clips for the commercial auction we stopped at, you'll see some of the auction lots we picked up from a couple of auctions. We'll have some discussion about the changes here at the lake this fall, and you'll see some incoming shipping supplies, some eBay branded items. If that sounds good, please continue. This week, surprisingly, we actually stopped at Denny's, and Rose tells me she enjoyed it because they were rolling out their fall offerings. Everything was pumpkin flavored. It was a good breakfast. They've even changed their cups. I think they may be a little smaller, but since they look a little thicker, maybe they'll keep coffee warmer longer. And coffee is an important consideration on where to have breakfast. But we also went over to the consignment auction this week. We dropped off lots, we picked up lots, I'll show you those. And we're not the only ones making changes. The post office, of course, is rolling out their new fees. They're also rolling out an interesting change because they're introducing some free Ground Advantage boxes. Now, so far, those are only going to be for Poshmark. They've made some deal with Poshmark, so Poshmark sellers are getting free boxes. Now, I hope this simply means they're the test and we'll also see them. Even though my channel primarily focuses on reselling, You can't avoid reselling in the greater context of seasonal change and whatever you're doing in the rest of your life. And I mean family, friends, seasonal change, vacations. They all impact or have to be worked around selling. And depending on how critical selling and reselling and the money you make from it is for you, you've got to do a balancing act. And that's why I say it's a cyclic nature. As we roll into fall, we'll work inside more. I'll have to find a new place to sit and film. We will get some nice days, and I'll enjoy them more and more as they happen. But as we roll into the rainy season, we'll start to get blocks 3, 4, 5 days a week of rain, which isn't really conducive to filming. But I have made a purchase today for a new microphone, so I'm hoping to improve the audio. So we think it's important that we get away from the house some days, and while we're doing chores, we'll stop for lunch or breakfast. On the way home, I stop and I see what they've got in my free bookstores. So I did that as well. And of course, we went into our local grocery store, which they're resetting completely. They've chosen fall to remodel our grocery store. Yeah, it was like an Easter egg hunt, where you thought something was, there'd be a sign that said, it's now over there. They've rolled out the Halloween candy. Pretty soon they'll be rolling out the Christmas candy. But it tells us that Q4 is in a full swing. My eBay branded shipping supplies arrived. I've been getting packages in the mail from all sorts of auction companies, including some new ones. So I've got a stack of those to show you. So we will continue to fill the fall with featured videos about reselling. We'll open packages, we'll watch what's going on online, we'll catch the changes to the community, and we'll try to improve the quality of the video with some new equipment. The post office announced through Poshmark that they're going to be giving Poshmark accounts free Ground Advantage boxes. Now, hopefully that's a precursor to other sellers who use Ground Advantage. I'd like to see that, because even though priority shipping was more expensive in general, it was nice to be able to get those free packages, the free boxes and mailers from the post office. So if they're going to continue to raise our rates, which they seem to be doing at least twice a year lately, it'd be nice in the way of free boxes. It's always good to get low cost or no cost packing materials. The little lake is quieter. The calendar said summer ended a few days ago, but there'll be less people out on the lake. The fountain's been turned off, and that really tells us it's the end of the summer season and time to get ready for Q4. I've got to place an order for eBay branded shipping supplies. The eBay branded shipping supplies have arrived pretty quick this time. I expect this one is my 6-pack of tape. I've slit the boxes to make this easier. Yeah, I think in this case, I think I'm probably more impressed by the box they sent it in than I am the tape. In one of my other videos, I mentioned that my third store has a $25 coupon. Problem is, there's almost nothing you can buy on the eBay branded shipping supply site for $25. So I ordered some tape. And then the other boxes represent the $50 coupons that I used up from my second and third store. Yeah, we'll set these aside and open up the other boxes. From this store, I ordered my most common used size of bubble mailer, what they call an air jacket. It's a 6.5 by 9.5, and I used up the whole $50 and then some, getting 200 bubble mailers. All right, this box goes through a little brown crumple. We'll reuse that. These should be the 8 by 8 by 8s, and you can see the crush strength on it. I like their 8 by 8 by 8 boxes as far as quality goes. I just don't like the price. If you can imagine, that represents $50. There's another $50 over there. The tape is $25, plus what I had to kick in on top of that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get these down to the other building. Rose and I just got back from a pickup over at our 2-week cyclic auction where we drop off lots, and I picked up about 9 lots to bring back. And it's like an exchange. I take over things that I don't want to put up on eBay. I bring back some smaller items that I do want to put up on eBay. So I'm over in the green shed in the workshop, and I'm taking a look at those 9 lots I picked up. Here's the invoice. While we were dropping off items to consign, I picked up 9 this time, a couple previously. One of them, of course, is a stack of comics. I'm getting quite the collection going together, and we'll probably run an auction of our own, group those up a little better, and sometimes they'll do better. Interestingly enough, these 3 pieces, the cards, the earring sets, they came in along with an outside thermometer, and it was actually the outside thermometer I was after, and these came along as bonus items. And it just shows, and these will sell, but it just shows how the auction lots are set up sometimes, and you end up with things that may or may not have a lot of value, but they come along with what you were after. These will be a good comparison when I go to do the game cards, like the Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, all those other types of non-sports games. But I'll do a little contrasting with these. This is a Naruto figure from a Pokemon game. Here's a group of metal figures. These are Minecraft figures here from another game. Here's a Hotel Transylvania figure, a Marvel Champions board game, and some, I guess they'd be called graphic novels. They're thicker than comic books, and they usually do okay. Down in here is an item which will probably hold till spring. It's a whole box of these cushion covers, rectangular covers. The tags tell me these were probably shelf pulls. The RTV is a return to vendor. It's an end of season tag that they do when they do inventory and pull seasonal goods. But it's a big box. I didn't pay much. Oh, those actually came in from the previous group. They happen to be sitting here still. Here's one, and I bought a couple of these. That way I'll be able to put up a multi-quantity listing. This is a detector, anti-GPS tracking, anti-eavesdropping detector. And here's a set of sheets. They do a lot in the way of linens and bedding on those pallet return auctions. We walk over here. Here's a lot that came in. Again, it was an auction pickup. It had multiple pieces. This one is military gear. I suspect if I looked around a bit, I would probably find a stock number on an inside flap. And this one's a triple game pouch. This is the one I mentioned. I saw the corner of the tag, and knowing what it was when you can catch just a corner and you can use Google Lens. This is the Swiss design. It's to carry your birds after you shot them out of the sky and you want to get them back. Also in that same sale, I picked up a load of tackle. So these are new tailored tackle kits for different kinds of fish species. This one will probably make into a video all its own. Old knives, fixed blades, fishing fillet knives, might be a couple folders in here, but I bought a few different groups of knives, and I've just simply collected them all in one box, and we'll make a video out of that on its own. I picked up a couple more challenge coins, singles, and one of them is not round. One of them is shaped like the state of Washington. So not all challenge coins are round. But if you want to learn more about challenge coins, I just put up I think it was a 40-50 minute video talking about what to look for, how to pack them, how to store them, that type of thing. Challenge coins are among the things I always look for. And then the group of items I have on the dining room table from cleaning up my office, I got a nice handful of challenge coins from different auction lots that had shipped into us. And I've got another half a dozen shipments sitting aside, waiting to be opened in a mail call. Here are some of the boxes that have come in recently, shipped in from auctions. A couple of these over here are actually RTS boxes, and we'll be doing a video on the topic of RTS, return to sender. So as we turn towards the rainy season, we'll be doing more work inside. In fact, I'll probably have to find a spot in my workshop with a better background for the rainy season to keep filming. I I like filming outside on days it's nice, but it poured yesterday, as expected. First good rain in some time, and it's supposed to start raining tonight and rain for the next 4 days. And when I start thinking about making videos, it's hard to beat natural outside lighting, so I'll probably have to get some spots or something for where I like to put my chair in by the packing bench to film when I do film inside in the workshop. I wasn't really happy with that original one I bought a few months ago. It improved the audio at that point, but I'm looking for something a little better. So I went out to a content creator I followed, Ryan, and I asked him what he used, and he told me what he had, and that there was a slightly newer version out there. So I took a look, and I think I'm going to like this because it gives you the capability of plugging into your iPad or into your laptop, into a digital camera, or into an Android phone, and it has the 2 mics so that you can have a conversation with someone and get both of you recorded. I had a little problem with that before I bought the first lapel mic. When I did the seashell video with Rose, she wasn't mic'd up, so when she'd turn away from me, I'd have to increase the volume, which of course distorts it. But Amazon says they can get this here for me tomorrow. We'll see whether or not they do. Interestingly enough, I did not buy the protection plan, though I looked at this new one they're offering. But you see, it's $16.99 a month. Not $16.99 one time, but a month. So I decided I think I'd avoid that. That should arrive tomorrow, and we'll do a little review of it. Start getting ready with the lots for Q4, the ramp up towards the holiday selling season, if it is a good season this year. You never know when we enter it how things will do. But Rose and I have decided that in October we're going to run an auction of our own to continue cleaning up, straightening my office, and to continue getting things ready to make space. And come spring, we want to sell off the agate property. So that means what's left over there needs to be disposed of, sold even if it's at a clearance, or brought over here. And of course, bringing it over here gives me a storage space problem. Since I've been working to make more room in the green workshop, I like having the extra room in my office. I like having the extra room in the green workshop. And if we have to bring much over from agate, that'll just crowd me up again. Now, when the fountain goes off in the fall, the cormorants begin to arrive. And my favorite cormorant is an old guy named Steve. He's actually turning a little gray, but he likes to come in and perch on the fountain, and he can just kind of watch the fish in the water until he sees his opportunity, and then he dives for it, because cormorants are fishermen. In fact, in many places over in Asia, they use them, they're on a tether, they have a ring around their collar, and they're actually used to go retrieve fish, and then the fisherman pulls them back up into the boat, takes the fish away from them, feeds them a little morsel that they can swallow past the ring. It's a very classic, traditional way to fish. Cormorants, when he first shows up, I'll tell you about my cormorant, but the end of the fountain means it'll be time to see the geese depart one day soon, and the ducks, some of those hover around, but it's a change. It's a cyclic change in the lake environment. In fact, there went a couple of birds right there, but they weren't cormorants. But I'll introduce you to Steve the cormorant, Unstable Steve. That's what we call him. For us, there's 2 seasons here in Washington State, the rainy season and the not rainy season. So in addition to the seasonal changes, and the things that happen in the fall. We also do our planning for spring. When we're not doing our future long-term planning, we got all the regular routine things to keep up with. The packing, the pulling, the shipping, the listing. Yep, it's all got to happen just about every day. Sometimes we'll take a Sunday off, but for the most part, we run this business probably 6 days a week. We don't run it all day long 6 days a week, but we do something for the business just about every day we're here at the lake. I'm Brian. Enjoy your fall, enjoy your family, and enjoy your neighbors, even if they are running a saw.